Welcome to another episode of Foraging Through the Calendar. It's the month of April and the plants are singing and you can hear the bluebells ringing. For those that are new, I'm Jack and I'm a foraging instructor down here in Dorset, the south of England. In this April edition, we're going to be focusing on the plant life. It's one of the best months of the year to be collecting your herbs and utilising the plants all around us. We got some great medicinal ones about at the moment and some gourmet edibles too. Let's get stuck straight into it with a double whammy of a medicinal and tasty herb for you to utilise. First up, I've got something down here that's hidden in this green sort of merge is what you can probably see. But see if you can guess what it is before I bring it on over to the camera. I'll give you a couple of clues. First clue, it's sticky, it sticks to you. And it's also got quite a cheeky name to it. Now if that ain't enough clues, I don't know what is. This is Sticky Willy, aka cleavers or goosegrass. This plant is a real medicinal powerhouse. In particular for the lymphatic system, it's a real powerful lymphatic cleanse. And also for skin complaints like eczema or psoriasis, this plant is a hero for those in need. Now, a real simple way of utilising this plant for skin ailments or skin problems is to just mash it up and stick the juice straight onto the affected area. So you just mash it up into a ball like this and you'll see straight away it's just leaking all of that medicinal nectar. And this stuff is the war paint that you want to put on when you're dealing with the battle of skin conditions. Loads of juice within each one, that got all that dripping out, and that's just a tiny little bit of it. So yeah, you can gather up a large amount of this very quickly, and at this time of year it's just popped up, so it's fresh and full of all the richness that it offers. So that's the easiest way to apply it, but you could also put this in a carrot oil and stick the oil straight on the skin that way. Easiest way to do that, dry out the herb and stick it in a carrot oil. Coconut oil works really well. So you can put a jar of coconut oil into some warm water and let the oil melt, and then stick all your dried plant material in there. Let it sit for about 6 weeks, and then you can just start applying that straight to the skin and enjoy the benefits. Also gather some up and just stick it in your bathtub. Something that you'll hear a lot about in herbalism is the signature of doctrines. And that is a philosophy whereby the appearance of a plant usually or can look similar to the part of the body in which it's trying to help or cleanse. In the case of the cleavers, you want to imagine this guy as like a chimney sweep going through all your blood circulation and cleansing you out. A real powerful detox, a real powerful cleanse at the springtime when our bodies are really craving it, coming out of those long winter months and waiting for that nutrition and cleanse to celebrate the rest of the year. The tops of the cleavers can be eaten raw, and they're not too sticky. They work well in a salad. But one of the easiest ways to get that lymphatic cleanse, and a delicious way of utilising it, is a cold water infusion, which is simply just putting all of the fresh plant material into some sort of vessel, and then filling that vessel up with water, sticking it in the fridge overnight, and you'll wake up to a cucumber-like water that's going to cleanse your whole lymphatic system. Adding a little bit of lemon as well is a good method, but not essential. Best to drink it up the next day as well. If you let it sit for say 2 to 3 days, it can start turning a little bit sour. And so that's your cleavers. I'm sure you can identify it. I'm sure it's stuck to you and you've taken it home before. Another interesting thing to note is that Sticky Willy is related to coffee. It's in the same family. And the little seed pods that you get on this plant later on in the year can actually be used as a coffee substitute and a natural stimulating drink. Right, we've got another super easy one that's super common as well. Can you guess what it is yet? That's right. It's the old well-known dandelion. Now, the dandelion heads are just gorgeous to eat at this time of year, but the little green sheath underneath the flower is actually still quite bitter. So if you just take away the green bit, and then you're left with just the yellow flower, these flowers are deliciously sweet. You can eat them straight on up, or decorate your meals, or even make a dandelion syrup or honey alternative. Gorgeous spring sweet nectar. And the leaves are also a great edible. They are absolutely packed with nutrition, although they are a little bit bitter. But bitter you'll find a lot with the wild foods, and bitter is a really great indication that you've got something medicinal. And to cancel out that bitterness, all you'd need to do is add a little bit of acidity. So a little dash of lemon juice over a dandelion leaf salad will just completely neutralise it and make it much more palatable. So yeah, definitely have a nibble on these dandelion heads that are surrounding us, and give some of these leaves a go in a salad. So yeah, when you are taking your flower apart, just sort of pinch the yellow in, give it like a little twist, and then pull away the green, and just keep trying to prise the yellow away, and then you've got rid of the green, discard, and then eat that lot. It's absolutely spectacular. Oh, now talking of something sour to neutralise that bitterness in plants, we have got a perfect little sour leaf to stick with any of those salads. Now this one here is called French sorrel, or buckler's sorrel. Let me show you a close-up. They are like little arrowheads, and they're very pointed at the end of the arrowhead. Unlike sort of lords and ladies, which is much more rounded and also doesn't have the veins, that road to hell veinage on the outside of the lords and ladies. So if you like green apple skins, like the Granny Smith apple skins, you are going to love this plant. This is basically a Granny Smith apple skin in a leaf. And so yeah, add it to dandelion salad and you're winning. You'll find it growing in grassland in little tufts like this. As you can see, there's quite a cluster here. There's plenty of other sorrels out there, like wood sorrel and pink sorrel. They all have that same flavour, but different shaped leaves. Right, next up, we've got the Hart's tongue fern fiddleheads. Now that's a tongue twister. I'll just show you one of them close up here. Get there. Yeah, that is your Hart's tongue fern fiddlehead. And these are absolutely gorgeous, fried up in a bit of oil and butter. They're very much just like asparagus, and they really soak up all the butter and flavours and seasoning that you'd put in there, and just work as an excellent little side dish amongst many meals that you could add it to. It's super abundant as well this time of year. I'll give you some close-ups so you can identify it a bit easier. And this wild edible is a little bit lesser known in the UK. It's not very well documented in the wild food books, but around the world, fiddleheads are consumed in huge amounts. Although there are ones to be careful of, as some of our other ferns that we have grown in the UK are carcinogenic. So let me show you how to identify it. So the ferns, they grow in a rosette-like structure, meaning in a sort of circular motion. So these are the leaves here of the Hart's tongue fern, and this is last year's growth. So you find one of these leaves and then you follow it back to the centre. And then as you dip in, you'll see all of the nice, lovely, young, new little fiddleheads popping up. Now, this principle works the same for the carcinogenic ones. So here we've got the Hart's tongue, but only just here and here we have got, we'll let it focus in, we've got the carcinogenic one. Ah! So yeah, these leaves, which you'll recognise, is another variety of fern. Oh, get that to focus in. Yeah, these leaves here, another variety of fern. And so if you follow these ones back, again, they'll be grown in a rosette-like structure, and they will have some fiddleheads. But these ones, you know, look different. They're a bit more fuzzy. That's not a great example. Let me show you one that is actually a little bit more look-alike. Well, I mean, even them are a bit more look-alike. So, but you can clearly see there's some of the older leaves, last year's, that will deter you. Oh, here's some better examples. So yeah, we've got last year's leaves, carcinogenic, you can see, and then some of these little fiddleheads in here. So yeah, they do look similar. Once you learn which is which and are comfortable with identifying the Hart's tongue fern leaves, then you can enjoy this spring delicacy. So yeah, get to know the leaves. This one, the Hart's tongue, good edible fiddleheads. This one, nasty, poisonous fiddleheads. Don't eat that bug. Now, no stinging nettles were in the last one, but these are still about, and they're arguably the most nutritious plant on the planet. So make sure you're still foraging for your stinging nettles in April. Right, now this one isn't necessarily a beginner's foraging plant. This is hogweed. Now, as I say, not necessarily a beginner's forager's plant, but very important for the beginner forager to be aware of and be casting your attention on. I'll just get in the light and then we can look at this a little bit closer. Right, so this is hogweed, and it's in the umbellifer family, or the carrot family. Umbellifer, think of those white umbrella shaped like flowers that we get. A lot of those are umbellifers, and this plant has that umbrella shaped flower. So the most dangerous plant family that we have grown in the UK, you've got things in the family like hemlock water dropwort, deadly plant, poison hemlock, deadly plant, and giant hogweed. It's a genus that the beginner forager does need to be aware of and observe for the first few seasons. And eventually you'll be eating these tasty shoots. And these keep on giving for many months of the year and are a gorgeous, abundant wild green. Now, a general rule of thumb is that in this genus, what we are looking for is hairy celery sticks. So you see on this leaf stem, it's got like a celery-like groove in it. Get a bit closer. And it's also hairy. Now you can see this larger, more mature leaf is more like stubble, but on this lovely, gorgeous little edible shoot, it's nice and fuzzy. Now it's the shoots before they've opened up into a full leaf that is the edible part. This is a gorgeous, lovely spring wild green. Later on in the year, there's other edible parts like the flower buds as well as the seeds. Stay aware, stay cautious with this family, but get to know it. Again, hogweed's grown in that rosette-like structure. Here's the larger leaf. You see the larger leaf, you follow it back down to that central structure, and then you look for the younger shoots, like this little bad boy. No, notorious. Now this here is another umbellifer, and another edible one. As mentioned before, you've got to stay cautious with this family. Now this is cow parsley, and again we have that celery-like groove on the leaf stem as well as some hairs on there. Poison hemlock looks very similar leaf structure to this one, but on the stem it will be bold and round, and it will have red blotching like somebody's shaking a paintbrush on it. And just amongst this cow parsley, we'll show you, we got the nettles once again, lovely edible. We've got a bit of lesser celandine. You can eat these, don't go too mad on them. And then, just amongst the grass, what is looking like grass, we've got some wild chives. Now chives are nice and easy to ID, basically mash them up and give them a sniff. Now again, we did mention wild garlic last month, but we've got to tap into it again this month in April. And right now, we're after these guys. The flower buds. Now these flower buds are delicious, just eaten raw, cooked up, but also preserved and pickled. An absolute winner. Oh, and they got a kick. So there you have it, foraging in April. Now there's so much out there to learn, so much to find, and it can all get quite overwhelming. But just stick at it. Focus on what's growing in your garden, or a regular walk that you're doing with your dog, for example. Focus on what's nearby and accessible. Use it, build a relationship with it, and each one will cement in your mind. So don't rush, stop and smell the roses, and enjoy the ride. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more foraging knowledge.